What can you say to somebody who didn't grow up stuffing envelopes, didn't grow up managing campaigns, but who's got the fire in the belly now and wants to get in?
Well, the first recommendation I would make is join a campaign. Join somebody's campaign that you feel passionate about. Doesn't matter if it's for city council, for local school board, or for the U.S. Senate. Find a candidate who motivates you and get involved, because every single candidate, every single campaign in America needs help. They need help making phone calls, they need help organizing fundraisers, they need help on policy, they need help on advocacy, doing online chats, doing blogging, doing tweeting, anything that can amplify that message of the candidate is so important. And one of the, I got involved in President Clinton's campaign in '96, and then I got involved in Hillary Clinton's first Senate campaign and a bunch of others. But the people that you meet on a campaign are lifelong friends. They're people who care about the same values and priorities, and you get more and more understanding of what it takes to win. And when you can create a winning campaign, you basically create the possibility for real advocacy, for someone who's going to be your champion on an issue that you care a lot about.
What can young women do now to prepare to get into politics later? And how can college students help?
Well, college students can help by working on campaigns. I can tell you, in my first congressional race for 2006, we had college students from all over the state literally come to this upstate New York district to go door to door. By the end of that campaign, we were knocking on 10,000 doors every day, and we were doing 20,000 phone calls every weekend. No joke. And that was largely driven by college Dems. I can tell you, you guys make a huge difference, because you're the manpower that needs to really be on the ground to convince voters that the election is important to you. When you go to someone's door and says, I feel so passionate about this candidate because she believes in A, B, and C, you've just won over a voter. And that voter may not have seen my commercial or may not have seen the mailing that I sent, but they talk to you and they remember it. So that's one thing that college kids can do. And for a young person who's thinking about running for office, one thing I did is I did 3 candidate training classes before I ever ran for office and ever really decided to run. I did the Women's Campaign School at Yale, I did the Women's Campaign Fund, Emily's List has trainings, and I did Eleanor Roosevelt Legacy training. So I did so much training. I knew every aspect of a campaign. And the last thing I'd recommend you doing is work on somebody's campaign. There's nothing better than knowing what it takes to elect somebody else to know what it would take to elect you. And 10 years before I ran, I spent working on other people's campaigns, and I raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for other campaigns. And as a consequence, I had a network and a list of donors that had helped all these other campaigns that I cared about, who that I could call and ask, will you help me? And it made a huge difference.